If we could all please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
You there? Yeah, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yeah. Thank you, everyone. Welcome to the Village Board of the Village of Washingtonville. Regular meeting today, Tuesday, June 16th, 2020. A few announcements, and I guess the chief will talk about it a little later on at the meeting. The high school graduation parade scheduled for Saturday, June 27th. Information will be sent out by the Washingtonville Central School District along with the Washingtonville Police Department. On Sunday, the village temporarily lost Betty's Kitchen due to fire. Kevin and Maureen have meant so much to our village. We wish them the best of luck. I know this community would rally up in support. It always has. Phase 3 opening is scheduled for June 22nd. We will be opening Village Hall on this day. All visitors will be required to wear masks while visiting the Village Hall. I received numerous telephone calls regarding overgrown grass. The code enforcers will be riding throughout the village. The village codes will be addressed. The village is committed with working with the residents on this issue. Our playgrounds will be opening on Monday, June 22nd. The entrance signs into the village have been completed on 94 by Patricia Lane. Both have been installed on Route 208. Entrance signs on 94 by Ahern will be installed once a true elevation is given by the engineers. My latest meeting with Orange and Rockland, I was informed that New York Rising project for the culvert replacement has been postponed until spring 2021. I have not received any information regarding garage sales, so please do not plan on holding any of these sales until it is posted on our website as well as our village Facebook page. And this Sunday, happy Father's Day to all.
Thank you. All right.
So we have new business resolution, appointment of volunteer planning and zoning board members. Christine?
Yes, I can hear you. Can you hear her now?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, we will administer the oath first.
And now, what I was supposed to say, I didn't get that in the email.
Oh, that's okay. I attached it in there. You're gonna repeat after what I tell you now. Okay?
Okay.
You tell me when you're ready.
I'm ready.
Okay. You're gonna raise your right hand and repeat after me.
Okay.
I, Merrill Drayton,
I, Merrill Drayton.
do solemnly swear.
I didn't hear you. It came up.
Do solemnly swear
Shall solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States,
that I will support the Constitution of the United States,
the Constitution of the State of New York,
the Constitution of the State of New York,
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties.
or could you say that again? It's coming in muffled.
Sure. And that I will faithfully discharge the duties
And that I will safely assist, charge to duty
of zoning board of appeals member,
of the zoning board of
of appeals member,
the kiosk member
to the best of my ability.
to the best of my ability.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Oh, thank you. All right.
Thank you, Merrill.
Oh, you're welcome. Sure. All right. Thanks a lot.
Is Richie there?
Yeah, Richard.
Yes.
Ready, Rich?
Yes.
Okay, raise your right hand and repeat after me. I, Richard Lord Jr.,
I, Richard Calor Jr.,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of New York,
and the Constitution of the State of New York,
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties of
that I will faithfully discharge the duties of
Planning Board member
Planning Board member.
according to the best of my ability.
Repeat that last part.
According to the best of my ability.
According to the best of my abilities.
Trustees.
Congratulations.
Wow.
Hey.
I guess that's the plan.
We have Selena.
Hello.
You ready?
What else?
Okay, Selena, if you raise your right hand and please repeat after me. I, Selena Rokas Moy,
I, Selena Wilfer Moy,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of New York,
and the Constitution of the State of New York,
that I will faithfully discharge the duties of
faithfully discharge the duties of
Planning Board member
Planning Board member
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my abilities.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Hey.
There you are. Thank you, everyone. Rich, Selena, Merrill, thank you so much for stepping up in joining our boards. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome.
You're welcome.
They can go now.
Yeah.
You're more than welcome to stay. Don't listen to Rich. Rich Jr., you might
I'll
want to.
hang,
I'm gonna listen
The
in.
other two don't
I'm
need to.
gonna listen in, but I'm gonna hang up.
okay.
Okay,
Take time to unmute.
resolution approval of facility request permit for Forever Fit with GAMI.
It won't unmute.
Trustee Lodato.
And that she requested the use of Vern Allen Park on, okay, the date on here, correct, it's for June 28th. It's a Sunday
But
at
usually if it's
morning. I don't have anything on the calendar for that day, not unless somebody else does.
The times, and what we can do is put it on the calendar to make sure that no one else applies for those times. Is it early morning?
Yes, 9 o'clock in the morning, 9 to 10.
All right, if it was to be bad weather, we would just notify her and she would notify one, or how is that gonna work?
She did not pick a rain date as of now.
Okay. Okay. Any questions? Comments?
Oh, yeah, she has on the liability thing, the certificate holder for additional insured Vern Allen Park, so I guess that could be us. Doesn't say specifically Village of Washingtonville. I don't know, I don't think it's a problem.
Are you to change it or?
I don't think it's a problem. Vern Allen Park is us.
Yeah, it's in the village. Are you happy with that, Paul, or you wanted
I don't
to?
have a problem with it. I just,
Okay, you just pointed out? Okay.
Can I make,
All right.
I don't think it cost her anything to get it changed.
It's a question I could ask Will, and we could approve it based on Will's answer and getting the new certificate. How's that?
Well, in the meantime, I'll ask her, what would you want to change to Village of Washingtonville, I assume?
Or as additional insured.
Yeah.
Can we vote on it pending
Yeah.
that?
Yes.
Okay.
Make a motion that we approve Forever Fit with Gammy on Sunday, June 28th, 9 a.m. at Vern Allen Park.
I'll make a
I'll
motion.
second it.
Okay. Roll call. Trustee Kalor,
Yes.
Trustee Lodato,
Yes.
Trustee Sampson,
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Lang,
Yes.
Mayor Bucko, yes. Pass 5-0. It really should say the Village of Washingtonville, but
Okay. I'm sure it's a simple fix.
I'm sure it is. Resolution approval of public assembly permit. I see that Chief Sicaro is on the meeting. We received this today. Chief, anything you want to add to this?
Can you hear me?
Assembly permit? Yes.
Yeah, we met this morning with a principal, the high school. We're still setting up the plans, but I think we've finalized the route. And we're just going to meet one more time next Tuesday, and it should be a go for June 27th with a rain date of June 28th. It should only affect traffic on Ahern, which will close down for about an hour. And once the parade procession starts, all the roads will be open up. It'll just be about a mile and a half worth of cars until it enters the middle school.
Okay.
I think
How
it's going to take an hour.
Decker, I mean, there's going to be a lot of cars coming in and out. Are they just going to be allowed to join the parade or at that point? Unless they change it. Are they still going down Decker?
Yeah, they're going to make a right turn onto North Street, a right turn into
Right.
Taft Elementary School, back onto Tolman, and a right turn on the Decker, and then a left on the Ahern, and a right onto 94.
Okay, so you're not going to close any of the Decker streets, correct?
No, I'm just going to let the traffic flow.
Okay. Okay. Can I have a motion, please? Oh, I'm sorry. Questions, comments? Okay, motion.
I'll make a motion.
Trustee Lodato, second.
I'll second it.
Trustee Sampson. Roll call. Trustee Kalor,
Yes.
Trustee Lodato,
Yes.
Trustee Sampson,
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Lang,
Yes.
Mayor Bucko. Yes, and the village will be sending out a message maybe 2 nights before, Chief, and then the night before, rather.
That'd be fine. It should only affect really traffic on Ahern. You'll have to make alternate routes to get to on the other side of Ahern.
Okay.
But once the traffic procession starts, it should flow pretty steady. It's just going to be a long procession. That's all.
All right, sounds good. Thank you for meeting with the school on this.
No problem. We'll get it done.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I think it's going to be a good day. Okay, I just had one other thing. Well, actually, 2 things. I sent the board some paperwork regarding if you have it, if you downloaded it, the CHIPS and the Pave New York fund balance. Okay. The other day we were notified by Assemblyman Schmidt's office that this year we received $39,460.64 for CHIPS. and $9,007.28 for paved New York, which brings our total for chips up to $118,353.63, and paved New York $45,111.51. What I like to do is submit the Hoffman equipment that we, the loader, as well as the backhoe. That totaled $239,478 65 cents. So we would deduct that. We would deduct the 163 that, so we could put that back into the multi-fund. Okay. And the reason that I chose to do that, well, I haven't, it's our decision, all of our decision, is we also have a bond out for the reimbursement of the sidewalks as well as paving of Decker of last year. All right, that totaled $867,221.82. Really, at this point, it's all reimbursement to the village. All right, because everything's been paid for. So if everyone's in agreement of submitting the Hoffman equipment, I will go ahead and do that. All right.
The Hoffman equipment,
The Hoffman equipment, yes.
how much was that?
What's that?
How much was that?
It was total of $239,478.65. Any questions? Paul, you still figuring something out, or?
No, I was just figuring the totals out.
Okay. So I'd like to make a motion to move along, to move forward with this. All right. Someone make
I'll
a
make a
motion.
motion.
Second.
I'll second.
All right, roll call. Trustee Calora,
Yes.
Trustee Lodato,
Yes.
Trustee Sampson,
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Lang,
Yes.
Mayor Bucko. Okay. We also have, I asked Chris Martino to look into a lease/purchase of 2 trucks that are part of state bid. And we got 2 prices, as well as the lease purchase from Robert Green, which is part of state bidding.
Pickup truck?
A pickup truck
Dump. A mason dump.
and a mason dump. Okay, I think the mason, now we don't have to do both of them. We don't have to do any of them. Okay. But I think a mason dump becomes more valuable to them than a pickup truck. So if we're going to do one, I suggest that's the one that we do. And on the mason dump on a 5-year lease, it's $14,605 per year. All right. And at the end of the lease, we own that for $1. Okay. The other, or we could do the 4-year lease, which is just a little bit more each year. Again, the same thing at the end of the 4 years, we own it for $1. And the pickup truck of $38,792.30, 5-year lease, $8,608. Again, at the end of the lease, it's $1.
Hey, Joe.
Yes.
I didn't see any of the specs on the mason dump. What are we getting? We getting, the whole ball of wax?
I could look at the specs I could send. I wouldn't know what they ordered, other than it's probably the same mason dump that we have.
What about
with front?
What about a plow?
Steel plow. A plow is included.
Good.
All right, stainless steel body.
How long are we looking at for the other mason dump? That's
It
going
was sent out to 2 people this week, or last week rather, South Street Collision right here in Washingtonville and Bradley's. In Washingtonville, and South Street was like 300 and change cheaper than Bradley's. I don't believe Cock Mountain got back to Chris on it. So to answer your question, Paul, I don't know how many days until it goes in and, before it comes out.
I know, I agree. I think we definitely should get the mason dump. Do we really need another pickup truck?
I think the mason dump will take care of both. Okay. So I think we should, that's why we don't have to lease both. We could just lease what we need. But I think the mason dump would be more valuable. So let's start with just the mason dump right now.
If nobody has any other questions, I'll make a motion to purchase the mason dump.
purchase or lease? Lease it, no?
Lease, I'm
Lease
sorry,
it.
lease.
Yeah, lease.
Yeah. Yeah, I think we're better off leasing. I just got a text from Chris Mason. The existing mason dump is going in on Friday. Did not get a timeline when repairs will be done. So, all right. So, did someone make a motion for the purchase or the lease? Rather?
Rich has a motion for,
Rich does. Second.
I'll second.
Okay, Trustee Kalou,
Yes,
Trustee Lodato,
Yes.
Trustee Sampson,
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Lang,
Yes.
and Mayor Bucko. Okay. So the Mason dump. Okay. I will let Chris know to call Robert Green.
Can I ask a
I
question
believe, sure.
for the 4-year or the 5-year lease?
Good question. I think the 5-year.
Okay.
Are we in agreement with that or?
Yeah, 5 years.
Yeah, that's
5
8608
years?
each. Yeah,
Okay.
5. Yeah.
make the amendment to the motion.
Okay.
5-year lease is 14,605.
Correct.
Yeah, it comes to 73,025.
And $1 at the end.
At the dollar at the end. Now, it's not to say that we can't buy it out sooner. All right. So I believe, and I'll have to check on this, next year, if the CHIPS money comes in and it's significant, we could just pay it off at that point also.
Good point.
Okay. Yesterday, on the the county phone call, County Executive Newhouse had said that we would be losing 10% of our sales tax this quarter. Okay, so last year at this time, we received $255,000. Okay, that was the check that we received. So I think it looks better than it did in the beginning when all the pandemic started. So hopefully that check is in the mail. And, you know, we'll receive it soon. One other thing that I wanted to put on the agenda, we're winding down at the wastewater plant. We're winding down to the fact where they're looking to start spreading topsoil the middle to the end of next week and start paving the week after that. One of the things that came up, and it's been tossed around for some time, about a new generator. The generator that we have presently is not capable of powering the plant in case there's an emergency, in case there's no power there. That being said, we currently lease one or rent one from United Rentals, and they gave me a price of $78,000 yesterday. Actually, I'm sorry, this morning. We're in negotiation now with them. Actually, Mike Sally from Capola is talking with United Rentals on our behalf about having some of the monies that we've been paying for the rental applied to the generator itself. If that doesn't happen, then they're looking, like I said, at $78,000. Olympic Electric has submitted a proposal for a new one for $64,938.37. It's a lot cheaper than the $78,000. However, if they're going to apply the payments that we've made, that $78,000 could come down to $50,000. Okay, at which point my suggestion is we go temporary generator that we already have there on site. All right, the reason that we need to make a decision, and it doesn't have to be made tonight, but it has to be made quickly, is because they have to put conduit underneath the ground before they start paving. So hopefully tomorrow I'm going to get definite answers from United Rentals, and I will shoot everyone an email. And if we have to call for a special meeting to do this, hopefully Thursday, certainly by Monday of next week. All right. And Rich, I would ask that we get the generator that's down there on site and see what we could sell that for. All right. Let's take, I don't know how well the generator is at the police station. Whichever one's in better shape we'll keep, and we'll look to sell the other one. All right. Because in our plans, everyone knows our plans, I believe, moving the police station into the village hall, taking the generator from that building and bringing it over to the village hall. All
So
right.
I have a question on the United rental generator we have now. What
Yes.
year is it and how many hours are on it? And any warranty if we buy it?
We will be financing it. It would come with the warranty. Okay. I don't know how many hours are on it. I could find all that information out.
Because if it's already 5 or 6 years old, it's worth probably then getting the new one from Olympic.
Yeah.
How many kilowatts is the original unit down there, and how many kilowatts are we looking at for a new generator?
Well, it's the, right now, everything down there is 480 volts. The generator that's there is 208.
No, but what's the kilowatt
Oh, that I don't know, Paul.
on the generator?
I don't know the kilowatts.
I remember we had that number, but I forget. Is that one, the one that's down there is just not capable anymore?
No. No, because they designed a whole different voltage.
That's what I'm saying. What difference is there gonna be in kilowatts? the new one compared to the old one.
I could find that out. And shoot everyone an email on that. In that area down there, I made some phone calls to several solar companies. I think it's something that we should really look into, not only putting solar panels on the buildings, but putting a solar farm on the other parts of the property next to a proposed building that we need to put up for the equipment that we now have at the DPW. Our power usage has gone up because everything now works. All right. Hate to say that, but we really didn't spend much on electric because nothing worked. Now everything works. Every light bulb down there works. Every motor works. And it should. We're spending a lot of money on this. Which brings me to, are we okay with the dates of starting the public meetings for the facility? All right. And
You did them in July, right?
yes.
Oh, I'm gonna go back.
And that being said, I believe because our the monies that we've been spending at the sewer plant have to decrease because everything is brand new, at least decrease for 5 years. So we need to try to come up with some type of number for the facility, you know, for the facilities. Now we have a number in our head, but it might not have to be that much. Might not have to be that high. The clarifier, one of the clarifiers should be online tomorrow. I think it was last month, it broke. Everything just collapsed in it. So hopefully the other clarifier doesn't collapse also. We also, if you want to take a walk down there, please do so. In the back of the chlorine tanks, they put up a set of stairs. It really looks beautiful. But they put up a berm that is not on the property. So I've instructed them to, they have to remove the stairs, remove them, okay, and put the fence up, which we're still waiting for pricing for fencing. I gave Cola the fence. I think Premier Fencing gave a bid. I think Builtwell might be giving a bid, and Ketchum. I believe Ketchum had given them a bid too. And it's just going to be around the DPW and wastewater. And then we'll look into fencing in the whole property all the way around. It's a lot of fencing, a lot of property. And Rich brought up a concern the last time we spoke about the piles of asphalt, and I believe sweepings are out there, and maybe some concrete, I'm not sure. But that has to be taken care of also. And speaking with Capola, there's a couple of piles of concrete block, and a couple of pallets of concrete masonry units. If we want it, it's ours to keep. And there's also bags of cement that I don't know if it's any good. So they'll get rid of whatever we don't want, and they'll move whatever we want to keep. They'll move to where we want it kept. So it's an exciting time for the village, I believe.
Run by the for the purpose of people that are watching the meeting, the dates of the public hearing. And
Do you have them? I do not have them in front of me.
have we put it in the paper? Well, I think we had it on the meeting dates in July.
July 6th,
And July 21st.
correct.
Wait, July what?
Six
6th
the
July
21st.
21st. Okay. Well, they're public meetings. It's not the public hearing yet.
Okay.
Mhm. At 6 PM, correct?
Yeah,
6 o'clock?
I don't have any of that in front of me.
Oh, yeah, I
so
have
going
public
into-
meetings at 6 PM.
Okay. So it's really just before our meetings themselves.
Right.
Will Delaware Engineering be there?
Yes.
Okay, good.
Okay.
I have a
They,
question.
I'm glad you brought up Delaware Engineering. They've completed the manhole inspections, so we should be receiving a report soon with their findings.
Great.
Questions, comments?
Where does
Before
our
we go
water
to
come
public
from?
comments. I'm sorry?
Where does our water come from? I always thought about that. Water.
We have 2 wells right now that the water comes from. It goes into 2 towers that we have, one at Price Coursing and the other on Clinton Drive.
Okay.
Wells are located down on 94, almost opposite the high school on Conklin Way.
Conklin Way. It's a private road. It's probably next to the bus garage would be the best,
Right,
where they
yeah.
keep the buses.
Okay.
All right, now talking with Chris Finnegan today, Delaware Engineering is just waiting to do, they call it a Part 5 report for the well at Memorial. So that could be online also for us. So a little bit more than what we thought as far as just asking the fire companies or DPW to be filling up the sweeper and so forth. So,
And I want to go, this what we're doing here is a public meeting. This is a public meeting. Right?
right now.
Okay. What we're doing for the facility fees and things like that should be a public hearing, not a meeting. We should be deciding what we're going to do with those fees. Well, if you're just having it at a public meeting, that would be somebody tonight having something to say about facility fees. This is a public meeting.
All right, so let's change it to public hearing. What day you want to do the public hearing?
Well, you can do it the same day, but I think it's the terminology. I mean, ask Christine to jump in there but a public, this is a public meeting, and a public hearing is to
Mhm.
address comment and testimony on some specific local legislation, which that would be, because you'd be changing the code.
Well, I'm thinking then if we went to public meeting on July 6th and give a reason why we have to do this rather than just doing it. I think we have.
You could announce that at any meeting. You could announce that at this meeting, at this type of meeting, public meeting or a work session.
So what do you want to do? You want to go public hearing on July 6th?
That's
Well, we're going to have Delaware Engineering there, and I'm hoping to talk to them beforehand and get what ideas that they're looking at and
Okay.
see what they say before. I'd like to talk to them before July 6th and find out what they're thinking.
All right. So along those lines, then why don't we keep July 6th is a work session. We'll bring them in. And then we could have the public hearing on July 21. That gives us plenty of time.
That sounds like a plan. And then you could have an additional one in the beginning of August if you want.
Okay, we can keep it open if we need to. Yep, all right.
So now July 6th is just a regular village meeting?
Well, it's a work session. it's a work session and we'll have Delaware Engineering prepare what needs to be prepared for us. We as a board could look at it and then present it on July 21st. All right, and I'll try to get as many numbers together as possible. Right now, we have our, I stated at the last meeting, we are under budget on the wastewater treatment plant, significantly.
How much of
Which is-
That's good.
With the last meeting, we were 700,000 under.
That's good news.
Very good news. So, any questions, comments? Okay, we have a couple of people on. Anybody have anything they might want to ask the board for public comments that we have not spoke about, but is interesting to you?
You get any email questions?
No.
Let's see if there's anything in the chat box. No. And can one of you try to raise your hand just to see if we still have that feature? Raise your hand. Yes, you can raise your hand by scrolling over your name. If you click on the participants list, we see on the bottom of the screen it says participants 14. If you click there, you'll have a screen pop up on your right, and then just Valerie Lodato, you raised your hand. Thank you. All right. Just hover over your name and then you'll be able to raise your hand.
Okay.
All right. I'll just unmute everybody that way. They can just unmute. Oh, Merrill Drayton, it worked.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you. So no
All right.
questions?
Leave, Lena?
Hi, yes.
Hi, how are you? How are you today? Good?
So I just wanted to kind of throw out a suggestion to the board that we implement some kind of mandatory anti-discrimination classes, possibly something on a yearly basis. I think it's important that we do it. I know as a real estate agent, I have mandatory requirements for fair housing just to learn everything you should and shouldn't do and say. And I think that as a board, as all the boards, village board, ZBA, planning, and maybe all members in Village Hall, that it's just something that I think we should start and we should do at least yearly, if not bi-yearly. I don't know, who offers the classes and how often they recommend it, but I think it's something that we should look into.
Is it a class that you attend? You have to attend it, or is it like a webinar?
So I guess it depends. I mean, for real estate, there are in-person classes and there are online classes. So for example, this year, my license is due to renew at the end of June. And just because my schedule, I do my classes online. But I guess it would depend on who's offering it and where. Certainly it would be beneficial if there is an online approved class that would, qualify or meet the requirements to do a course like this. And if people prefer to learn in person, an in-person option would be nice as well.
Right. I definitely think it's something that we need to move forward on. I like the idea. We have 50 employees in our village. So I think it's important that all of us have something to, we just have to come up. Do we want to do the webinar, or do we want to do classes? Maybe they come in. I don't, how many hours is it?
Again, it depends. I'm not sure because mine is specifically for housing. So fair housing, it talks about the protected classes on a federal level, on a state level, and on a local level. So, for me, I guess further to my suggestion, maybe by a certain date, everybody is required to fulfill whatever hours the course entails, whether it be in person or online. You usually get a certificate of completion when the class is done. So just in case everybody cannot attend in person, we all have different schedules and different obligations at home. It would be nice to set a goal date of when it should be submitted, and then just have everybody do it at their convenience, whether it be online or in person.
All right, can we look for some information on that? You want to forward us information?
See what I can.
I can look. I used to be an affirmative action officer observer for search and screen committee. So I'll see what we have online or in person and cost.
Right. Now you get professional hours, Selena, so that's, I don't think any one of us will get professional hours, but we definitely need to go through the classwork. Haven't had homework in a while. Gee, I'm kind of excited.
You're welcome.
Maybe now I'll do it. Yeah, they say as you get older, you become a little smarter. Now, how smart are we? Paul and I probably will go to Gammy's fit on, but we'll be in the background, so you can't really see us. Eddie, I'm working on him. Eddie, I'm working.
I see that, Mayor.
Anybody, any other comments, concerns?
No, I'm going to send Larissa a link for local government services. They have training, so it might be available free, or I'm not sure what.
Wait,
I just found it online. I'll send you the link.
Thank you.
Welcome.
It sounds very similar to sexual harassment, kind of workshop.
Yeah.
And I mean, that might be another good workshop that should be mandatory. A lot of times people say and do things that they don't mean, that they don't realize might be inappropriate. And I think that everybody, it can't hurt to have a reminder. Can't hurt to have a reminder. So
Okay, yes.
why not throw people?
Well said.
Okay. Anything else?
No, I don't see
Harold,
any
you look like you want to say something.
Oh, no, that was it.
You sure? Okay.
Well, okay, wait a minute. What about the street from North Street where Stewart starts to Ahern? Both sides need to be done over. It's bad.
The paving of, yeah.
The paving of the road from North Street to Ahern. That's a tough block, both sides. You can tell your tire up when you get too close to the curb going north, right? Like near the Brotherhood Winery on the side, before you get to where Tolman starts, between Ahern and North Street where Stewart's is. That from both ways needs to be repaved. I know Larissa told me that wasn't next on the list, but could we get that on the list soon?
Yeah, no, that wasn't on the list. It should be on the list because it's well traveled. I think it's even further than that. I think it comes all the way up to Taft.
Yes. Yeah, all of that is bad.
Yeah. And
did you get a text from Christine? Something trouble with her microphone? Was she trying to say something?
That was earlier when they were doing the oath.
It was at 7:48, which was not that long ago that I got.
She said it's not a public hearing until you adopt changes.
The public hearing is what you do to adopt changes, right?
Christine, you want to text the message? No, but her message is, it's not a public hearing until you adopt changes. Her microphone wasn't working.
Is it working now?
Christine? Let me call her and see if I can.
I thought, well, yeah, Paul, I think I agree with you, Paul.
I don't agree with that. It's not a public hearing until you adopt changes.
No, I think the public hearing does adopt the change.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. So
Yeah.
you can't say it's not a public hearing until you adopt changes. It's a law after you adopt the changes at a public hearing. After the
Once it
public
reaches, once it reaches
Hi,
the
I'm gonna put you on
Secretary of
speaker.
State.
Okay. All right, hold on. Let's see if okay, this is Christine. Hold on 1 second. Hold on, I just have to put this in so we don't get the echo. Okay. Go ahead, Christine.
Okay, you can have as many meetings as you want beforehand. They're considered public meetings. They're not hearings. The actual hearing is when you are ready to adopt the changes. And then you have the hearing to adopt the changes. But you can have many public meetings beforehand, but they're not considered hearings. Hearing is when something's actually going to be adopted to change the law.
I'm not muted.
What's that? I think people always, you know, get mixed up sometimes with the word hearing versus meeting. Like with the budget, you had many meetings before the adoption night, but those were not all public hearings. They were public meetings. The night you adopted the budget and we advertised in the newspaper, that is the actual public hearing. So that's when you're adopting the changes that you've made to whatever law or code.
Yeah, that's what Paul and I are saying. That's what Paul is saying.
Yeah, that's what I had
Yeah.
texted earlier.
Yeah.
we have 2 public meetings a month.
Correct.
You could have 10 if you have to. If you wanted special meetings to have, you know, discuss water sewer changes, you can do that also.
Yeah, but Christine, at a public hearing, we're making a proposed change to village code. So we're saying, like the commercial parking, these are the changes we want to make. These are the fines we're going to impose. These are the hours. This is what you can do, what you can't do. That's at a public hearing, right? When people come and
Yeah,
speak.
that's what I'm saying. That's at a public hearing. The night of the public hearing is when you are ready to adopt your changes.
To make the changes, and it could be more than one public hearing.
Absolutely, that's what I'm saying.
Okay.
But leading up to that, if you schedule a meeting for next week to discuss it, that's not actually the hearing. It's a meeting to talk about the proposed changes coming up, a public meeting.
Right, and that's what the work session will be on July 6th.
Okay, good.
Right.
Yeah, that's a public meeting.
Yeah.
We're going to discuss what we're going to. Yeah, I think we're on the same page.
Yeah.
Yeah, just what you said before, Paul, was correct.
You're trying to confuse me now. Okay, thank you.
Now I'm straight and narrow.
I don't know is on 3rd. All right, anybody else? All right, again, happy Father's Day to everyone.
Thank you.
Yay.
And to you too.
Thanks a lot.
Sleep late, don't do anything. Not that we do anything anyway.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Cards in the mail, Dad.
All right, I believe that.
He's your number 1, right?
Yeah, I'll believe that when I see it.
Eddie, let me know if it doesn't arrive. I'll give him one. I'll give him a call.
All right, I'll call you.
All right. Okay. Motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Give it to Larissa.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Again, Selena, Merrill, Rich Jr., thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Good
Thank
night.
you. Happy Father's Day to you.
You too.
Happy Father's Day.
Night.
Enjoy. Have a good night.
Oh.
Mhm.
Right.